third grade. Today we are checking page 423 to 424, numbers 3 through 8. Before we begin, these problems are very tricky. They are all two-step problems, and many of them require you to work backwards. So I want to remind you, if you are stuck on these problems right now and listening to this video for extra help, or when you're checking your answers and you realize that you didn't get some correct, it is okay. Take it step by step. Read the problem carefully, slowly, and as many times as you need to. These are very challenging problems. Let's begin with number 3. If you got 14 cars, you may fast forward to number 4. Let's take a closer look at how we get 14 cars. Because the problem wants to know how many cars Ryan started with, that word start is a huge clue to us that we need to work backwards. Anytime you see a word like start or begin with, you want to work backwards. So when we work backwards, we want to look at this last sentence right here before the question. Now Ryan has 13 cars. That's where we're going to begin, and we are going to work backwards to figure out how many he started with. So let's start with the 13 cars Ryan has now. Now look carefully at this problem. It says that he bought 6 more cars. Now, typically we would add, if we are buying something, we're adding cars to our collection. But this time, because we're working backwards, we want to figure out how many cars Ryan had before he bought them. So we want to take those 6 cars away. If we're taking away 6 cars, we want to subtract the 6 to get 7 cars. Remember that when we are working backwards, you want to do the opposite operation. If you're buying, normally we would add, but if we're working backwards, we're going to subtract. Likewise, for the next sentence, it says Ryan gave 7 of his model cars to a friend. Now, normally, if you're giving away something, you're going to subtract, but we want to figure out how many cars Ryan had before he gave them away, so we want to add them back. So we're going to add 7. So that we're going to take this 7 that we just got from subtracting the 6, and we're going to add the 7 back that he gave away. And that brings us to 14 cars. If you need to go back and re-listen to that explanation, please do that right now. There were a lot of steps to this, so it's okay if you did not get it correct the first time. As long as you're able to catch your mistake, that's okay. Go back and re-listen now. The answer to number 4 is 7 books. You may fast forward now if you got that. Number 4 is similar to number 3 in that we have to work backwards. Your clue here is this sentence, now she has 26 books. If we go back and look at number 3, we see a very similar sentence here. Now Ryan has 13 cars. So that word now is kind of telling us that we should work backwards if we want to figure out how many books were in her sets originally before she gave the books away. So let's start with the 26 books. It says that Chloe donated 9 of her books to her school. When we donate things, that means that we're giving them away. Now remember, we're working backwards. So if we gave the books away, we want to add them back to our total books right now to figure out how many we had before they were given away. So when we add the 9 to the 26, that brings us to 35. So that means Chloe had 35 books when she started. But remember, we want to know about the sets. So those 35 books are in 5 sets. To figure out how many books in a set, we would divide 35 divided by the 5 sets, brings us to our 7 books in a set, which is our answer. Moving on to number 5. If you got 18 inches, you may fast forward now. If you are reading very carefully, you should notice that I keep on seeing this word now towards the end of our word problem. I noticed it in 5, in 4, and in number 3. When we see this word now towards the end of our problem, and we want to know about the start or the beginning or an original amount, we want to work backwards. So again, for number 5, very similar strategy that we've been using, we are working backwards. So we are going to start with 5 inches. If Hilda cut off 4 inches, we want to add those 4 inches back on. So we are going to add 4 inches to our 5 inches. 5 plus 4 equals 9. So we know that one of the pieces is 9 inches. Now remember, Hilda had 2 equal pieces. So if they're equal, that means the second piece also has to be 9. So 9 plus 9 equals 18. The original piece of ribbon was 18 inches. If you got 11 colored pencils for number 6, you may fast forward now. It is not necessary to work backwards for number 6. In fact, you shouldn't work backwards for number 6. A really great strategy to use for number 6 is to draw it out. So if Tiana has 2 boxes, we can draw those 2 boxes. One box has 20, another box has 16. So if we add both of those boxes together, we have a total of 36 colored pencils. If we are reading carefully and taking it step by step, it says she gives her brother 3 of the colored pencils. So we want to subtract 3 from the 36. That brings us to 33 colored pencils. The next step says she wants to put the colored pencils that she has left, which is our 33, into 3 equal groups. So that would be 33 divided by 3 equal groups. If you needed to draw this out and draw your 3 groups and partition the 33, you could absolutely do that. Or if you already know this fact, 33 divided by 3 is, in fact, 11. So there is our answer. Tiana puts 11 colored pencils in each group. For number 7, if you got first, ate, second, shopped, third, saw a movie, please continue to read the explanation now. Pause the video and read it. If you had something along that same explanation, you may jump ahead to number 8. The biggest clue for number 7 was this sentence right here. She shopped right after she ate. So it helped me to kind of draw this out. She shopped right after she ate. So that means she had to eat before she shopped, like that. She shopped right after she ate. Another very big clue was she did not see the movie first. So that means she can't see the movie here before she ate. She had to have seen it third. So I'm going to put an M for movie because I ran out of room. But that is the order. So it really helps to draw it out, take it step by step, and look for those clues in your sentences. For number 8, it was not enough just to write the answer. It asked you to explain how you solved. So take a minute, pause the video, read this explanation, and make sure you had something along the same thing. I noticed that in number 8, they use this word now again. Alini now has 24 crayons. So that's a clue that you should be working backwards. So the first thing we do is we take the 24 And we want to subtract the 3 crayons that she found, because if she found the 3 crayons, they were not a part of her original pack. So we want to subtract the 3 she found to get 21. Now, according to the problem, it says that she bought 3 packs originally. So that means this 21 crayons were divided into these 3 packs. So that's how we got 21 divided by 3 equals 7, which was the final answer here, 7 crayons. But you really needed to explain these steps in words. This was not an easy lesson today, so very good job, 3rd grade. You may look up on the board for your next activity.